Have you ever stared at a classic video game, like one from the 8-bit era, and just wondered, how in the world did they build those amazing pixelated worlds? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain. We're going to treat game design less like coding and more like art. We are going to turn a totally blank screen into a brand new world. I mean, just look at this. It's a whole little world right there. You can practically feel the adventure. But this place, just like every single game level ever made, started out as nothing, a completely empty void. So the question is, how do you get from absolute nothing to this? Let's break it down.
The core idea here is actually really simple. Think of the game screen as your fundamental building block. It's not some scary line of code, it's a digital canvas, and it's just sitting there waiting for your imagination.
Now we'll be working inside this amazing tool called Arcade Game Designer, or AGD for short. From the main menu, all you have to do is hit the C key, and boom, you're in. You are now standing in front of your canvas, ready to create. Okay, so every artist needs their tools, right? Well, forget about complex menus and confusing icons. In retro game design, your keyboard, that becomes your brush, your palette, your entire studio, all rolled into one. And here's the best part, it's incredibly simple. The arrow keys, that's how you move your cursor around, which is basically your brush. The 1 and 2 keys let you cycle through your paints. In this case, they're called tiles. You just pick the one you want, and then you hit the space bar to stamp it onto the canvas. That's it. Move, select, stamp. That is the rhythm of creation right there. But, what happens when you make a mistake? You might be looking for an erase tool or an undo button, but there isn't one. Instead, the solution is so much more creative. You use tile 0. Think of it as painting with the background color itself. If you put a block in the wrong spot, no problem. You just select tile 0 and paint right over it. It's such an elegant and clever way to handle mistakes.
Okay, so you start building. You're laying down the floor of your level. You move, you stamp. Move, stamp. Move, stamp. You can already see how laying down a huge area like this would get really repetitive, right? It's a total drag on your creative flow.
Thankfully, the creators of AGD totally saw this coming. They built in this brilliant shortcut to keep you in that creative zone, the F key. This turns on something called fast draw mode. Now, instead of stamping one tile at a time, the editor automatically places your selected tile wherever you move the cursor. You can literally just paint huge sections of your world by holding down an arrow key. It's a game changer. So now let's see how all this actually comes together. With these super simple tools, move, select, stamp, and of course, fast draw, you can start to put together a real scene, piece by piece, almost like you're creating a mosaic. And here it is, the before and after. On the left, you've got the raw editor view. That's your canvas with all the tiles you've placed. But on the right, that's the final product, how it actually looks in the game. And that's the magic leap, right? You go from a simple grid of blocks to a living, breathing world that's ready for a hero. So that's the whole loop. It's just beautifully straightforward. You navigate to your screen, select your tile, position your cursor, and stamp it down. This super simple process is all you need to make an entire world just emerge from your fingertips. So now that you know the how, it's time for the what. And let's be real, the best way to learn is by doing, by getting your hands dirty. So the source material lays out this fantastic 3-part challenge that's designed to take you from being a student to being an artist. First, you recreate. Just build the example cave screen to get comfortable with the basics. Then you modify. You make a copy of that screen and put your own spin on it with totally different tiles. And finally, you innovate. You take that second screen and you transform it into something completely new, something spectacular that is 100% yours. This is how you really find your own style. So, there you have it. You've gone from a totally blank screen to a functional game level. You've learned the brushstrokes, you've got the techniques down. You are officially a world builder. You've laid the foundation, you've built the stage. You've turned a void into a real place. The only thing that's missing now is, well, someone to live in it, someone to run and jump through this awesome world that you just created. So the only question left is honestly the most important one. With a blank canvas in front of you and all the tools you need right at your fingertips, what world will you build?